So, okay. So for this video, like, the last video was about a couple of my MHs and things like that. And then I was talking to a friend the other day, and I've come to a much more positive outlook on myself over these last several months, more specifically these last couple weeks. And that's not to say that there's not days where I don't doubt myself, because I mean, even just before I made this video, I was like, oh, I'm not good, I'm not good. And then I kind of was like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I telling myself this? This is not true. But here's the thing, like, when you have like, just being a human, you're gonna have self-doubt, and you're gonna have all these thoughts creeping in that you're not worth it and stuff like that, or that there's this wrong or that wrong. But it's especially worse when you have an MH, because your brain is telling you every moment of every day that you're a burden, that you're useless, that you're worthless, that you don't deserve love, you don't deserve happiness, all these negative things. And then when you go through the amount of stuff that I've gone through, and you've had every relationship fail, you've had almost every friendship fail, most people can't stay friends with you for longer than a year at most, like, it's hard to believe in yourself after all of that. And it's hard to think that you're actually worth something. And it took me a long time. I mean, I'm 26 now. It took me realizing that I had all these toxic people and all these toxic situations in my life, and realizing that it was my MHs more than it was me that convinced me that I was useless, or that I wasn't worth something, or that I didn't deserve this or I didn't deserve that. And more recently, like, in the last year and a half, I started cutting out toxic people and toxic situations. And it was really in the last month to 2 months that I really started, like, okay, this is negative for me, this is bad for me, this person's not good for me, this person's not good for me. I need to cut them out. It's the only way I'm going to get better. It's the only way that I'm going to get to a happy, healthy, stable place. And it's when you learn how to recognize those people in those situations, and you find the courage to cut them out, no matter who they are or what they are, you'll find it much easier to start believing in yourself. Like, it doesn't matter if it's family, it doesn't matter if it's really good friends, it doesn't matter if it's a significant other or anything. If it's not benefiting you and your recovery, and they're not there loving you, encouraging you, and supporting you, then they shouldn't be a part of your life. And I have a couple phrases that I use to, like, whenever I'm talking to people and things like that, especially when I'm, like, promoting the awareness and stuff like that, is I always tell people I love my perfect imperfect imperfections. And I know it's kind of a mouthful, and it's kind of like an oxymoron and stuff like that, I get that. But it's true. It's when we learn to love our imperfections, and is when we not only learn to accept but also embrace our imperfections, that we are truly free. And it is when we learn to let our differences shine rather than trying to smother them, that we find true happiness. Everybody wants to fit into this mold, this perfect little mold created by society, or this perfect little mold created by somebody else or someone else, something else. Like, but here's the thing: at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all different. We've all traveled different journeys. We've all experienced different things. We all look different. We act different. We feel different. Everyone's idea of beauty is different. And when you try and force yourself into some mold of somebody else, you're keeping yourself from being as beautiful and as strong and handsome and amazing and wonderful and spectacular and stunning and so many other things. You're keeping yourself from being this. You're putting yourself into a tiny little cage that, at the end of the day, you're not meant to be in. We all need to break out of these cages and break out of these molds and create our own molds. Like, I have my own mold, and it's really taken me, like, the last month or so to really accept my mold and be like, hey, you know what? I'm awesome. Yes, there are things that I need to change about myself. There are plenty of things that aren't that great about myself. There are aspects of my life that I need to change, aspects within myself that I need to change. But I acknowledge those, and I recognize those, and I take ownership over the things that are negative in my life and the things that are negative about me. But I've also come to accept them. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to try and fix them. It just means that I've accepted them, and I accept that that doesn't make me a bad person. It doesn't make me worthless. It doesn't make me useless. It doesn't make me undeserving of love or happiness or friendships or a significant other. It just means that I'm human. And we as humans are put on this earth to never stop learning, to never stop growing, to never stop evolving, to never stop changing. And that's one of the biggest things that we all need to learn, is that you have things you don't like about yourself. We all have things we don't like about ourselves. Even celebrities and models and musicians and all of them. Everybody has self-doubt. Stop looking at magazines for this idea of what beauty is or what perfection is, because 90% of that's photoshopped. Stop looking at celebrities and things like that, because they have stylists and makeup teams and designers and everything helping them look that way. That's unobtainable. That's not real. Even they say it. I mean, there are several celebrities who have been petitioning against photoshopping and things like that, because they know that that's giving people an unrealistic idea. Stop expecting that you have to have a ton of makeup on and things like that. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm wearing makeup right now. 90% of the time, I don't wear makeup. Especially, like, when I start dating somebody, like, within the first 2 dates, I usually don't have makeup on, because I want them to see who I am completely. I don't want them to see some made up, dolled up version of myself, because at the end of the day, I'm a jeans and nerdy t-shirt and, like, Chuck's kind of a girl. Like, I wear sneakers and stuff like that, and I wear, like, things along those lines. Like, I'm not this, let me wear dresses and skirts and things like that. Like, that's not me. Now, don't get me wrong, I do dress up every once in a while, but I also think that with me, personally, it has much more of an impact when the times that I do dress up, it's much more of an impact because I don't dress up very much. Now, that's not to say that people who wear makeup and stuff like that, that I'm not bashing them or anything like that, because everyone has to do what they feel comfortable with. Like, this is pretty much the most makeup I ever wear, and that's usually just eyeliner and red lips, and the whole reason I got, like, my nickname is Ruby Rainbow. The whole reason I got that nickname is because my friend and I joke that, my pale skin, my multicolored hair, and my red lips are my signatures. So he texted me the one day and he's like, Ruby Rainbow, that's your name. So now I use that as my name for a lot of things because it's such a fitting name. Because at the end of the day, like, I always have my hair some sort of different color. Like, I actually just touched it up today. So it's blue, fuchsia, and purple. Now, obviously, you can't see it because the lighting in here is really bad. And my camera's really bad because I'm using my laptop camera because I don't have a real camera right now. But, you know, it's a fitting name. But I'm getting off topic, sorry. But yeah, so I've come to a point where if someone's not there to help me, to encourage me, to love me, to support me, to bring me up when I feel down, then they need to just, like, they need to be out of my life. There's a door, you can leave. I love the person I am. Flawed and all, MHs, physical, whatever, everything. I love who I am. Because I've survived a lot. At the end of the day, I bring a lot more to the table. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to act how I want to act. And if you don't like it, oh well. Like, that's your problem. That's not my problem. And a lot of times when people don't like something about you or they insult you or anything like that, it's because they have their own insecurities that they're projecting onto you. And that's the thing. Next time somebody tells you something negative about yourself or makes you feel like crap about yourself, take a step back and realize that they are just projecting their own insecurities onto you. That there's things that you don't like. There's things that you need to change. There's things that you need to fix. But you need to not listen to them. You need to listen to yourself. And you need to not let your MHs control you. You need to not let them be the voice that you listen to. Because you are all amazing. You are all beautiful, handsome. You're all stunning. You're all spectacular. And all that. Oh, sorry. There's probably noise going on in the background. It's fine. It's just my roommate. Hold on. Carl, come say hi to everybody. This is Carl. This is the one who's been taking care of me and everything like that.
I'm just getting ready to make her food.
Yeah, I don't eat very much, so he's making sure because I have a history of anorexia, so...
We've had this for about 5 days, just sitting in there waiting for her to say, hey, let's go make the beef and rice.
Yeah. Sorry about that, so... That was my, like I said, that was my roommate. Sorry about the interruption, but, yeah, I've been preaching a lot of self-love and things like that, and like I said, I still have days where I doubt myself. But we need to stop putting ourselves down and stop putting these impossible standards for ourselves. Like, we're human. You're meant to be flawed. That's part of what makes you so amazing. That's part of what makes us all so unique, is these flaws. So I guess, well, apparently I gotta go help him make food and stuff, so I guess in closing what I want to say is, the next time somebody tells you something negative about yourself, think about the fact that they're probably just projecting their own insecurities onto you. The next time you start to feel down on yourself, take a step back and realize what you do bring to the table. And if you really are feeling that down on yourself, here's a trick that I learned years ago. Take a marker, take makeup, whatever you have available to you. Write on yourself the things that you think are negative. And then, when you're done, go to the shower, or the sink, or whatever, and wash it off. And with that, wash away the negativity and wash away the things that you don't like about yourself. And it sounds stupid, and it sounds like cliche, and it sounds like dumb, and things like that. And the first couple times, you're going to feel stupid doing it, and you're going to be like, oh, why am I doing this? This is pointless. But each time you do it, you start to realize, like, you start to believe it, and you start to wash it away, and you're like, okay, I feel better about myself. Like, I'm not as bad as I think I am. I'm not this horrible person. Like, I actually bring more to the table than I'm giving myself credit for. And that's the hardest part, is realizing that there are these wonderful things about yourself. Do positive mantras. Like, I have mantras. I have journals full of journals with mantras in them that whenever I'm feeling negative or down on myself, I start listening to them. Listen to music that's going to make you feel good about yourself. Like, I have plenty of songs that I listen to that no matter what, I feel like when I listen to those songs, I'm like, huh, I am awesome. You know, like, find what makes you happy. One of the biggest things for me was that started making me realize that I'm good and that I'm worth it and stuff like that was I found something I was super passionate about and that I was good at. And it doesn't even matter if you're good at it. If you love doing it, who cares if you're good at it or not? For me, writing is that thing. Writing is the one thing that I know will never judge me. It's always going to be there to comfort me. It's always going to be there to provide me support. And it's something that I happen to be good at. And I'm going to start using my writing for a positive thing. Like, I'm going to use it to create a voice for the voiceless. I'm going to use it, just as these videos are, to create a voice for all the people with MHs who can't talk about it, who don't want to talk about it, or who don't know how to put it into words. I'm going to use both of these tools to give all of you a voice, to raise awareness, because I have a way with words. I have a beautiful way with words, and I know this. I love doing anything creative or artistic, though. Like, there's plenty of artistic things that I'm not very good at, like drawing. I'm not that great at drawing. I'm great at painting. Drawing, not so much. But I still do all of it. Because you gotta do what not just wakes up your soul, but lights it on fire. That's when you know you've truly found something to be passionate about. And that's when you know you've truly found something to be happy about and excited about. Is when you find something that just makes you feel alive every single time you do it. I have a lot of friends who are musicians, very amazing musicians. I have a lot of friends who are into sports. They're great at sports. I have friends who aren't so great at sports, but they love sports. I have friends who are all creative and artistic and musical and things like that, and not all of them are great at these things, but it makes them happy, and it makes them feel alive. And that's really what matters at the end of the day, is whatever makes you feel alive. When you start doing the things that you're passionate about, you're going to notice a change within yourself, and you're going to notice that you're going to start feeling more positive. Like, I love to cook. It's not always that easy because there are days where I can't get around or days where I don't leave my bed, as I told you in the last video. But everybody says that there is this change in me whenever I cook. And I turn into a completely different person. It's funny, like, I love to teach people to cook, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I look like I'm on Food Network or something like that, so I'm like, you do this, and you do that, and this is why you do this, and, like, I tell them all these things, and my friends are like, Courtney, you're ridiculous. And it's true, like, I am ridiculous. But I love cooking, and I love teaching people. Like, I love helping people, I love teaching people new things. I also love to sing. I don't let a lot of people hear me sing, but it's one of those things that I love to do, and I don't do it for anybody else. I really do it for myself at the end of the day, because that's the other thing too. Don't do your passions for somebody else. Don't find something you love because somebody else loves it, because your friends love it, or because your boyfriend loves it, or your girlfriend loves it. Do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Do what you want to do whenever you want to do it, and if people don't like it, who cares? They don't need to be in your life. You don't need them in your life. So that's it for this video. This one's not nearly as long as the other one. But yeah, really, when you start to feel negative, do one of your passions. Listen to music, write, draw, paint, watch sports, play video games. I don't know. Go out for a run. Go out for a walk. Go spend time in nature. Do whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel positive about yourself. But remember, you are all amazing. You are all wonderful. You are all beautiful. You are all handsome. You are all stunning, spectacular creatures who can create such amazing things. And you can always grow. If there's something you don't like, you can always fix it. If there's something that you love, embrace it and empower yourself through it. And show it off. Don't hide behind your insecurities. Show the things that you are great at. So that's it. I'll probably make another video either later this week or next week. I'm still deciding on what the topic's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to do some stuff about my past, or if I'm going to go more into like my MHs and things like that. So for anybody who watches the video, just let me know what you think I should do in the next video on, if you want me to do more about the MHs, or if you want me to go more into my past, or if there's a specific subject you want me to cover, let me know. Like, I'm open for options and stuff like that. But other than that, have a great night. I'm gonna go make some Mexican taco rice. Yay, taco rice!